Imagine this, you have a big project due tomorrow. You've known about it for weeks, but here you are scrolling through videos telling yourself you'll start in just 5 more minutes. Sound familiar? If you're watching this, you're not alone. We've all been there, caught in the cycle of putting things off and feeling guilty about it later. Procrastination isn't about being lazy, it's about how we handle our emotions. Today, I'll show you a simple rule that changed everything for me, the 5-minute rule. Let's break free from procrastination together, starting right now. Welcome to the Mental Improvement Channel, where we turn psychology into practical tools you can use today. I'm your host, and if you're tired of procrastinating on the things that matter most, this video is for you. Today we're diving deep into the science of procrastination, and more importantly, how to beat it with one incredibly simple technique. This isn't just another productivity hack that requires willpower you don't have. It's about understanding your brain and working with it, not against it. Let's get started and make real change together. Let's start with the truth. Procrastination isn't a time management problem, it's an emotional regulation problem. Research from psychologists like Dr. Tim Pitchell and Dr. Fuskia Sirwa shows that we procrastinate when a task makes us feel anxious, bored, frustrated, or overwhelmed. Your brain is trying to protect you from negative emotions by seeking immediate relief, usually through distraction. That quick dopamine hit from scrolling social media feels good now, while the project feels hard and uncomfortable. But here's the paradox. Procrastination feels good in the moment but creates more stress, guilt, and anxiety later. It's a temporary escape with a heavy price. Our brains are wired to avoid discomfort. When a task feels overwhelming or unpleasant, your brain looks for an escape, something easier, more enjoyable, or instantly rewarding. That's why you might find yourself checking your phone, watching videos, or even cleaning your room instead of starting that important project. The brain chooses the path of least resistance, seeking quick rewards over long-term benefits. Understanding this helps us realize that procrastination isn't a character flaw, it's a natural response to emotional discomfort. But with the right strategy, we can outsmart this tendency. Here's the paradox: procrastination feels good in the moment but leads to more stress, guilt, and anxiety later. It's a short-term fix that creates long-term problems. The more we avoid, the heavier the burden becomes. This cycle can be hard to break, but the good news is you don't need more discipline, you need a strategy that makes starting easier than avoiding. That's where the 5-minute rule comes in. Let's see how it works. Enter the 5-minute rule. It's deceptively simple. Commit to working on the task for just 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes. You can stop after that if you want. Why does this work? First, it reduces the activation energy needed to start. Starting is the hardest part, it's where most of the resistance lives. By telling yourself you only need to do 5 minutes, you bypass your brain's threat detection system. Second, it creates momentum. Once you start, you'll often find you want to continue. The Zeigarnik effect tells us that incomplete tasks create mental tension. We want to finish what we start. The beauty of the 5-minute rule is that it tricks your brain into starting. 5 minutes feels manageable, almost too easy to refuse. Once you begin, you're likely to keep going thanks to the Zeigarnik effect, which says our minds want to finish what we start. Even if you stop after 5 minutes, you've made progress. You can't fail at 5 minutes. It's a win-win. Either you keep going or you've at least broken the cycle of avoidance. Here's the best part: you can't fail at 5 minutes. Even if you stop after the timer goes off, you've still made progress. You've practiced starting, which is the hardest part. Over time, this builds the habit of initiation, making it easier to start tasks in the future. The more you practice, the stronger this habit becomes. Remember, the goal isn't to finish, the goal is to start. Completion is a bonus. Let's put the 5-minute rule into action. Step 1. Identify your most important task for today, the one you've been avoiding. It could be writing a report, studying for an exam, or cleaning your workspace. Be honest with yourself about what needs your attention. Picking just one task keeps things simple and focused, making it easier to get started. Step 2. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Use your phone, a physical timer, or any device you like. The act of setting a timer makes your commitment real and gives you a clear boundary. You're not committing to hours of work, just 5 minutes. This small step lowers resistance and makes starting feel much more doable. Step 3. Remove distractions. Put your phone in another room, close unnecessary tabs, and create a focused environment. Even 5 minutes can be sabotaged by interruptions. By preparing your space, you give yourself the best chance to use those 5 minutes effectively. Remember, this is about making it as easy as possible to start and stay focused. Step 4. Tell yourself, I'm only doing this for 5 minutes, I have permission to stop after that. This gives your brain an exit strategy which reduces resistance. Knowing you can stop after 5 minutes makes starting feel safe and manageable. Often you'll find that once you begin, you want to keep going, but if not, that's okay, you've still made progress. Step 5. Start with the smallest possible action. Don't write the whole essay, just open the document and write one sentence. Don't clean the whole house, just put away 3 items, make it ridiculously easy to begin. The smaller the first step, the less resistance you'll feel. Remember, the goal is to start, not to finish. The goal isn't to finish, completion is a bonus. If you keep going after 5 minutes, that's fantastic. If you stop, you've still succeeded. Over time, these small wins add up, building your confidence and making it easier to tackle bigger tasks in the future. Progress, not perfection, is what matters most. Let's address some common roadblocks. The first one, but I don't feel like it. That's normal. You won't always feel motivated. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. Waiting to feel motivated is a trap. Start anyway, even if you don't feel ready. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates motivation. Another common concern: 5 minutes isn't enough to finish. You're right, it's not, but 5 minutes is infinitely more than 0 minutes, and once you start, you'll likely continue. The point isn't to finish everything at once, it's to build the habit of starting, which leads to real progress over time. What if you really do stop after 5 minutes? Then you win anyway. You kept your commitment, you made progress, you practiced starting, which is a skill that gets stronger with use. Tomorrow, try again. The goal is building the habit of initiation, not perfection. Every expert was once a beginner who started. The real goal is to build the habit of starting. Each time you use the 5-minute rule, you strengthen your ability to begin tasks, even when you don't feel like it. Over time, this habit makes it easier to tackle bigger projects and reduces the anxiety that comes with starting something new. Remember, every successful project began with someone sitting down and starting, even when they didn't feel ready. Momentum is a powerful force. Once you start moving, it's easier to keep going. The 5-minute rule leverages this by making the first step so small that it's almost impossible to refuse. As you build momentum, tasks feel less overwhelming and your confidence grows. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to start and continue working. The Zeigarnik effect is a psychological principle that explains why we feel compelled to finish what we start. When you begin a task, your brain creates mental tension that motivates you to complete it. The 5-minute rule takes advantage of this effect, making it more likely that you'll keep working once you've started. Even if you don't finish, your brain will nudge you to return and complete the task later. Remember, beating procrastination isn't about having more willpower, it's about managing your emotions. The 5-minute rule works because it lowers the emotional barrier to starting. By making the task feel less threatening, you're more likely to take action. Over time, this approach helps you build resilience and confidence in your ability to handle challenging tasks. Let's look at a practical example. Say you've been putting off studying for an exam. Instead of telling yourself you need to study for hours, commit to just 5 minutes. Open your textbook, read one page, or review a single concept. Often, you'll find that once you start, you want to keep going. If not, you've still made progress and reduced your anxiety about the task. Now, imagine you have a work project you've been avoiding. Instead of aiming to finish the whole thing, set a timer for 5 minutes and start with a tiny task, like outlining your ideas or writing the first sentence. This approach makes the project feel less overwhelming and helps you build momentum. Remember, starting is the hardest part. Let's say your room is a mess and you keep putting off cleaning. Instead of tackling the whole space, commit to 5 minutes. Pick up a few items, make your bed, or clear your desk. These small actions add up and you'll often find yourself wanting to do more once you've started. If not, you've still made progress. It's important to celebrate your small wins. Every time you use the 5-minute rule and make progress, acknowledge your effort. These moments build your confidence and reinforce the habit of starting. Over time, you'll notice that tasks feel less daunting and you're able to accomplish more with less stress. As you continue using the 5-minute rule, you'll build momentum. Each small action leads to another, and soon you'll find yourself making steady progress on tasks that once felt impossible. Momentum is your ally, use it to your advantage. The more you start, the easier it becomes to keep going. Consistency is key. The more often you use the 5-minute rule, the more automatic it becomes. Over time, you'll find yourself starting tasks without even thinking about it. This consistency leads to greater productivity, less stress, and a stronger sense of control over your time and energy. Here's your challenge: use the 5-minute rule today. Pick that thing you've been putting off, set a timer, and give it 5 minutes. Notice how you feel before, during, and after. Did you keep going or did you stop? Either way, you've made progress. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Remember, you don't need to feel ready or motivated, you just need to start. Let's recap. Procrastination is about emotion, not laziness. The 5-minute rule makes starting easy and builds momentum. You can't fail at 5 minutes, every small step counts. Use this strategy to break the cycle of avoidance and build the habit of starting. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. You have the power to change your habits one small step at a time. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, remember to use the 5-minute rule whenever you feel stuck. Share this video with someone who needs a boost and subscribe for more practical mental improvement strategies every week. You don't need to feel ready or motivated, you just need to start. 5 minutes, that's all it takes. See you in the next video.